Hello, ladies and gents. Today, we're going to begin close reading comparatively. So, we're going to look at both the newspaper article on Abby Sutherland and the editorial about Abby Sutherland over the next 2 days. So, this follows the following essential questions. What is informational text really about? How does interaction with text provoke thinking and response? And how does an author's purpose influence how the text should be read? As we look through this, for the first phase of reading today, as we close read, we're going to do what we always do, which is to read the text closely 3 times. Now, this isn't a full text. This is just an excerpt, a portion of it. So while we read through the first time, we're going to focus on what the text says. Now, our summaries are going to be a little longer because we're looking at excerpts from both the news article and the editorial. So as you read through, make a beginning, middle, and end summary of the news article excerpt, and then make a beginning, middle, and end summary of the editorial excerpt. So as you read through that first time, you're going to focus on the key details of what's happening at the beginning, middle, and end of each excerpt, making sure that you're able to create a proper summary. As we do this, we're going to be focusing on learning target number 5 to create an objective summary of the text. Remember, an objective summary should only be about your specific details of the text that are important. It should only include the facts and not include any personal opinions that you may have about either of the articles. It should also not include any quotes from the article. Don't pull quotes from the article. It should only be the facts in your own words. After you do that, you're going to go back and reread the text for how the text says it. As you reread the text today, you're going to be rereading for looking at a focus of how the two authors discuss Abby's father. Once you reread the text focusing on how the two authors discuss Abby's father, I want you to answer the following question. How do both passages shape their presentation of key information about Abby's father? And then cite text evidence to support your response. You want to begin with a comparative statement here. You can pick one of the following. Text 1 states this, but text 2 states something else. And you would fill in where that ellipse, those 3 dots are, you'd fill it in with what that text does. And as you finish off this statement, you want to obviously provide your text evidence with it as well. As we're looking through this second phase, you're going to be focusing in on learning target number 15, to analyze how 2 or more authors writing about the same topic shaped their presentation of information by emphasizing different evidence. Obviously, these 2 authors are focusing on the event with Abby's father using specific evidence, key information. And they do so in a different way, which is why you see this opening statement show that contrast. So make sure you focus on how each of the authors look at the father and the experience with Abby at sea and his role in that a little bit differently. So look at how they see him and try to figure out that difference between their interpretation of Abby's father and his role in this event. In phase 3, we're going to reread the text for why the text matters. As you reread the text that third and final time, look for the author's strongest piece of evidence. Then answer the following question. Based on information from the excerpt, is the evidence given by each author relevant for supporting his or her claim? And explain the answer to the evidence you highlighted here. So you're going to decide separately. You don't have to do this as one statement for both. But I want you to decide separately, is the first article's evidence relevant for the claims they're making about Abby's father? Is the second article relevant? Is that evidence relevant for the claim they are making about Abby's father? So as you read through this, we're going to be focusing on learning target number 13 to assess whether the evidence given in the text is relevant to support the argument and claim. So as you read through that, you're going to make a judgment about whether that evidence given in each of those separate pieces, the news article, then the editorial. Is the evidence given relevant to support the claim they're making about Abby's father here? Remember, relevant means that it clearly connects to the claim. It means it's appropriate for supporting the claim. It means yes, it is in fact connected to the claim. Sometimes things that are not relevant, or what we say as irrelevant, would mean that the evidence doesn't necessarily tie in to the claim at all. So if it's relevant, yes, it does tie into the claim. You can see how they connect. If it's irrelevant, no, it doesn't tie into the claim and it doesn't connect. So you're going to have to decide that for both the news article excerpt and the editorial excerpt as you read through that third and final time. Go ahead and get working.